Oceans are the mother of all life and contain the primordial elements which created all existence in water, air, or upon the continental land masses. A coral reef is a unique biogeological structure that where plants and animals live in a mutual relationship. The present study was carried out to confirm the presence of corals and their mitigation so that the greenfield port of Kachhigarh could be developed. This video is about underwater presence of corals, varying from depth of 3 meters to 14 meters in Kachhigarh region. Location 1. This is a green color, small stony coral called porites. Because of its robust nature, the porites can survive strong currents in the sea. These particular porites are grey in color. The color of corals is attributed to their association of single-celled algae called zooxanthellae. Survey was done using scuba apparatus. Divers are using LIT method for taking subtidal data, as it allows estimations in percentage cover of different substrate types. The transit lines or tape measures are laid, and the amount of each substrate type encountered under it is recorded. This method is considered a reliable and efficient method toward obtaining quantitative percent cover data of benthic fauna. This is green algae called caulerpa, which is common in this area. There are 4 species of caulerpa reported in the area. Divers are using PVC slates and waterproof pencils to take underwater data. This is a very difficult and specialized task. It requires professional, well-trained divers to do this job. A low temperature of 17 degrees Celsius made it difficult for the divers to do the job. Here we can see juvenile reef fish swimming on the coral reefs. Reefs provide safe haven for the juvenile fishes from the large predators and hence are important for fish breeding. At this location, algal assemblage was a dominant category with 45.83%, followed by rock with 25%. The percentage of live corals was 10.83, composed of the genera Favia, porites, Cyphastria, Favites and Platygyra. Location 2.1. At this location, due to strong currents, algal weeds were swaying in the water. The corals were completely covered by luxuriant algal growth and were not visible, and it was difficult to videograph. However, the algal weeds could not cover the beautiful stony coral Favia speciosa. Favia forms bigger colonies and each individual polyp contains a mouth at the center, defined by well-marked walls. This beautiful coralline algae is known as Solaria robusta and is consumed in countries of Southeast Asia as salad. Similar to previous location, the algae dominated here with 57.50% and live corals were about 8.75%. Location 2.2. Location 2.2 was close to the shore with strong currents and suspended sediments. At this location, live corals presence was around 7.5%, largely dominated by Favia. Sargassum was a major algal species reported here, with characteristics feature of gas-filled bladders that help to remain afloat. Sargassum is a preferred food by herbivorous fishes and echinoids. Here, due to luxuriant growth of sargassum and increased sediment load, videography was difficult. The divers felt strong southward current of 2 to 3 knots. This is a live large conch, also called holy shank. Location 3.1. Moving towards north at the location 3.1, a swift-moving fish called perch welcomed the divers. As usual, sargassum along with other algal species like Caulerpa, Ulva, Codium, Shapia, Gratilopia and Splatoglossum dominated the middle zone of the water. In this location, the percentage of live corals was 19.25 with Favia, Cyphastria, Favites, Porites and Goniopora coral species. Sand dominated the substratum with 33.5%, followed by rock 30.25%. These green Favites are one of the most common corals found in the intertidal and subtidal region, often referred to as moon, brain or honeycomb corals. Location 3.2. This location showed first major change in species composition, with Goniopora, also called flowerpot coral, dominating the corals. Goniopora is a stony coral and occurs in lagoons and turbid water conditions. though several small fish was evidently present. The algal species was sparsely present at this location. Here, the Goniopora colonies are growing on a large dead reef. In this location, the percentage of live corals was 18. Rock and sand were the dominant categories with 27.25 and 26.25% respectively. Location 4. This is a dead reef with bryozoans as important group. This location represents a zone without coral located in the center of both the bays. Geologists have dated several dead corals in Okha region in the range of 20,000 to 6,000 years old. Okha region was thoroughly studied in the past by James Hornell in 1909, and he indicated no presence of live corals at Shivrajpur. Therefore, it can be inferred that the corals reported in the region are not older than 100 years. The hydrozoa are sturdy enough to survive on the dead reef. Hydrozoans are related to jellyfish and corals and belong to the phylum Cnidaria. Location 5. Moving towards Bay 2 in north, the ecosystem again comes to life as indicated by this fascinating reef fishers swimming over a coral. However, algae are in stunted form, exposing the rocky bottom. This large patch of Goniopora is indicative of turbid water, difficult for other coral species to survive. In this location, the percentage of live corals was 18.75. Sand was the dominant category with 42.5%. Location 6. This location is at the northern end of the Bay 2. As usual, the algae dominates the life forms. However, the long sargassum which dominated the Bay 1 is showing stunted growth here. The major algae here are Caulerpa, Ulva, Codium, Gelidella, Halimania, etc. In this location, the percentage of live corals was 7.5. Favia was the dominating coral in this location. Location 7. This impressive outcrop of coral, Favites surrounded by sargassum, welcome divers at location 7 in Bay 2. However, the other part of the area is dominated by small algae. This transect clearly indicates less density of corals in Bay 2 compared to that of Bay 1. Coral ecosystems are considered as rich forests of the ocean, and their conservation while planning any project is our moral responsibility. This colorful coralline algae and large number of invertebrates hidden underneath mutually depend on coral reef ecosystems. In fact, coast of Okha Mandal is known for its algal diversity, as workers from all over country come here to study this diversity and evaluate the possibility of extracting bioactive compounds from them. It is not out of place to mention here that there are very few such videographies available on corals of Gujarat. And we would like to appreciate L&T that as it agreed to support this study and gave us an invaluable chance to look into the wonderful underwater world. Coral reefs are useful to human communities in a variety of ways, ranging from food, especially protein, protection of shorelines, supporting the livelihoods of local communities such as fishing and tourism, and sustaining cultural traditions. We wish that the country progresses and remote regions like Okha also join the mainstream of economic prosperity. Development brings livelihood opportunities for locals and aids conservation of these species that we need to guard for our future generations with a view that In fact, we have borrowed them from our successive generations.